What's up, guys? If you've been following along, you'll know that the IS is now down. To top things off, the RX-7 is also now down. That Saturday, when I spun a bearing in the IS, I said, it's fine, I'll go grab the FD. I grabbed the FD, use it for the weekend, and this is, if you've been following along, after a ton of maintenance and going through it. And I got it pretty much working most efficiently it's ever been working. Got the twin turbos coming on right. The temps were perfect with the Pettit Racing intercooler. And, you know, it's probably the first time it was working that efficient in a long time. And obviously I can't really see my settings or AFR settings with the Power FC. And it didn't compensate for something. Maybe it leaned out for a hot second, maybe detonated for a second as I was coming onto the highway. Third gear, probably 80 mile an hour. And then it started sounding like a Subaru. So at that moment, I knew something was pretty fucked up, and it drove great. So and you know, it still started up every time, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty fucked. That said, let's show you the compression test results. We're compression testing it, and 2096 is the true. That's the corrected 1885.
A little low.
So we're fucked.
That's an apex seal. I mean, it's telltale, so at least you know.
Yep, motor's gonna come out. Fun stuff. We'll do it. All right, now we know that the rear rotor housing is shot. Has low compression on two of the rotor faces, meaning that the apex seal, which seals both of those sides at the top, is probably warped and causing that. So 20 PSI, 20 PSI, and I think it was 90 PSI. So yeah, the motor is gonna have to come out. So the motor is gonna come out. We're gonna put it on a stand right here. Norman's gonna come by and help us rebuild it. Hopefully, maybe, you know, at max, just another rotor housing. Well, you know, knock on wood. The conditions seem good. It held together. I haven't been running it, obviously. So hopefully, you know, knock on wood, that it'll come back all right. So motor's gonna come out. More than likely, it took the turbos with it. So I believe, and this is something I didn't really want to do in the first place, but after a ton of research, going back and forth, wanting to simplify the vacuum setup, I'm just going to put a single on it. I believe we're going to go with the Turblown 7670 kit. I'm going to talk to them. Hopefully maybe we can come up with something there. Thinking about a Haltech 1500 or the Nexus, depending on what I can find for what deals. So yeah, this has turned into a whole thing. Not only do I have to fix it, but in order to fix it right, and since the motor's coming out, I wanted to do it right, and do the setup that's always gonna live. So we're gonna refresh the motor, I'm gonna do the build, we're gonna put apex seals in it, probably RX parts, apex seals, Turblown 7670 kit, small turbo, aim for like 350, 400 horsepower max, and just usable setup. Motor refresh, go through everything. Trans, we're gonna refresh. Fifth gear needs to be rebuilt, so I'm gonna send that out to Pettit Racing. Obviously, I'm gonna do a new clutch while we're in there. Computer, like I said, powder coating everything on here. Just doing another full setup like I did the IS. And while the motor's out, might as well just paint the bay. So most likely, I think Dylan's gonna paint the bay just to get it done. And we're gonna little by little show that off over the next probably 6 months if I had to guess. It's probably gonna take more than that. Obviously none of that stuff is cheap. So, you know, any companies that's willing to help out and in exchange for a ton of media, I'll be documenting the entire build from start to finish. And it's gonna be pretty awesome. This is the moment where I'll get the drivetrain done, we'll do the bay, and we'll get to drive it. Then after that, we'll be painting the rest of the car and then redoing the interior like I'd like. I really, really, really want to go hard on this car. I want it to be my grand tourer, the car that I can drive to the track all day, drive home, go to the mountains, drive it, have AC, take my fiance in it driving. I'd like to do a kind of Porsche level build, like a 930 that's got all the works, you know. I don't want to say Singer Porsche because that's, you know, like leagues above what I'm able to do. But I'd like to really lean into a really solid setup I can use everywhere, and be the grand tourer to the IS. The IS, I love both cars in different ways. So it's really cool to be able to have this opportunity. So, you know, thanks for watching thus far, and it's about to get a whole lot crazier. The IS you should see back in the next couple of weeks. I should have a new motor for it this Sunday. And I think we'll be doing a block swap like we did last time in a couple of weeks. I'll do some coverage on that. So yeah, I also might be picking up a really cool rare part for this car depending on how it goes this Friday. So knock on some wood for me that it's gonna go well, but I'll explain more when I have it. It's gonna be really cool and the story is gonna be crazy. So I'll pick back up on that probably this weekend if it goes through. So, but yeah, thank you guys for watching. This is the beginning of a very long build. It's gonna be cool. For now, in the meantime, we'll have IS stuff. But yeah, this is life. Onward and upward. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next week.